Okay, now notice the cursor has gone all the way up here. So in the example, let's look at this example here. In the example, I believe, the first option was 1. Either way, none of the options seem to work. So up here is where the cursor is. So we'll try 1 and enter. And the cursor just goes to the next line. It doesn't really do anything. I could type something else. I could type 2 in and enter. I noticed that when I hit escape, it will basically retype this whole thing here, right where the cursor is. So now we see that it has overwritten this portion here. And if I do that again, now that the cursor's up here, it'll do the same thing, I believe. Yes, it has. And so this is the strangeness of where I'm kind of stuck. I don't know how to do any diagnostic on this or how to do any monitoring or log dumping. Maybe if I could figure that out, we could see exactly what the memory kernel or its equivalent of a memory kernel is doing step by step here, so we could see maybe if there's an error or something is directed the wrong way. I did want to point out that it seemed like it was very important which octal location that the device was attached to. So let me show you what I mean by that. Here in the Renovate User's Manual, I'm going to look for DKP device, and it says something about the default. The DKP device, specify the exact, I've repeated this text on the page, but it should be a decimal number between 0 and 63. That's the integer that's supposed to be specified here. The default is 033 octal, which is equivalent to 27 decimal. And the standard secondary device code is 073. So 27 decimal or 33 octal for the DKP device. Now, since in the successful example the DZP device was being used, I'm going to show you the equivalent command there. So the DZP device, here's a clue here. It says that the default is 027 octal, 23 decimal. Now, one of the things that I saw here is, well, let me try this again. Notice it didn't like set DKP model 6060, but it enabled DKP because I didn't do so before. I think I can do a show all devices, so let's do that next, just so that we can see what the environment is. I'm going to close and reopen the window here because it's kind of locked in this panel. Okay, so we know that set DKP model 6060 errors out, but let's try to well, let's just do show all. So that's showing all devices. Notice that the minus D here, I figured out that means disabled. And this is why we're pretty convinced that DZP doesn't exist on this emulator, because it's not here. I mean, this shows all the disabled devices. Well, here's a thought. Maybe I can enable the CPU. I wonder if that'll matter. Wouldn't that be fun? Let me finish my thought here, and then I'll actually do that. So minus D, DKP. This is on device 27, 027. Now this is octal. If I did not use the device parameter in the INI that I did, I'll show you that. Okay, and again, CPU equals Nova, and memory size equals 64. There isn't a 0.4 option, so we just stuck with Nova. I'm not sure if another CPU would help. But what I wanted to show you was not that. It's this. So we set DKP device code equal to 23. And this does work. It doesn't work if we were to set the DZP device. Well, it does work if we were to set the DZP device code to 23. At least it doesn't error out. But if DZP doesn't exist, then what's the point? And also, then when we try to assign DKP device code to that 23, decimal 23, or integer 23, which is octal 27, then we go try to assign DKP device code to the same location. It says it can't. It's busy, and we have to restart it and remove this line. So that's why that's removed there. But I just thought I would point out that we're already making this assignment because the default octal code for DKP is 33 octal or 27 decimal integer. And in this case, we wanted to set it to 27 octal or 23 decimal integer. So that's why we see this here. So okay, and if I try to enable DKP again, it says, hey, it's already enabled on location 027. And that's the same denotation, I think, that you see for their octal throughout all this documentation. But hey, let's enable the CPU and try again. All right, CPU is already enabled. Great. Now we will try the. Again, I'll skip set DKP model 6060. So we know that doesn't work, and we've already enabled it, so we'll set here. And attach DKP 0. Okay, and we also don't really know what start 337 or 377 means. We think it's a memory location that we're telling the processor to start at. Don't really know. Oh, well, this looks better. Nah, it really doesn't, because it put this up there. It looks really exactly the same. It doesn't really do anything. If I hit escape, it puts that there. You know, and it'll just sit here forever. It's not really processing anything. So that's as far as I've gotten with this. So it's limited success. There's some things in the way, and if anybody knows what things are in the way or how we could configure this emulator to do what we want it to do here, which is just run the Minicom disk to tape utility the way Bruce did in the example shown in the screenshots. That's what we want to accomplish. So, thanks for watching, and I appreciate your help.